any public media organization like GBC, Graphic Communications, or the New Times Corporation, but rather private media fraternity to become the president of the Ghana Journalists Association. So in this age of new media, evolving media practice and journalism standards, how much of the needle needs to be moved to match global standards? Tonight, we sit down with a man, none other than Albert Kwabena Dwumfuor, the president of the Ghana Journalists Association, right here on Starr. We're also live in Takrady on Empire FM. Yes, in Secondary Takrady. And also in Kumasi, you're listening to us on Ultimate FM. In the Eastern region, we are live on Adco FM. And around the world, on starfm.com.gh. And a big thank you going out to our sponsors. MTN everywhere you go. Haptel is everything you. GCB Bank, your bank for life. Coa Mixture for your general well-being. And Bill's Micro Credits. Good evening, Mr. President, and you're most welcome, sir.
Good evening, my good brother.
Pleasure to have you on the show.
Pleasure to be here as well. I'm honored. I'm honored to be on the show.
It's been a busy day for you. We've seen you moving from, one media house to the other, all because of the African Media Convention, which we'll be talking about. Awesome. Ghana is hosting it.
We are hosting it.
We're hosting it this year.
And not only Ghana.
Okay.
It is GJA hosting it.
GJA with the government of Ghana.
It's a GJA project.
Wow.
Let me stress on.
Okay, so it's a GJA project.
Yes.
The Ghana Journalist Association project.
Yeah,
that's the African Media Convention.
The government of Ghana.
Okay.
So hosting in the name of Ghana.
Right. That's a big one. It's like the World Cup, when it comes to football. But
it's the biggest thing to ever happen to the media in Ghana.
Really. We'll delve, a lot more into that. But many thanks for joining us, Mr. President. And I trust you're well.
I'm healthy. I'm William Hill and Natty. And I think that whenever I see you, Bola, it gives me fun memories. It reminds me of our past. People don't know where we've come from.
Yeah.
And I think that
we go way back.
We go way back. I remember that time when I remember that time. Come on.
But today we're here. God has been good.
God has been good.
We'll share the story. We'll get into it.
Of course,
it's been 2 years for you. As GJA president. Is that right?
Even less than 2 years.
Even less than.
But yes.
Almost 2 years. How has it been so far? Leading Ghana's, journalists and media practitioners. Albert.
I think that whenever I'm asked this question, I find myself very difficult in answering it, as I always expect our members, distinguished members of the association, the public we are serving, all stakeholders to rather assess our work to be able to tell us whether we are really doing what is right or good. But I think that it's been great. It was challenging from the beginning, but we've gone through the trenches, and we know how to soften things even in difficult and hard times.
What do you say has been a difficult journey? How do you?
No, this was a task that actually people thought to be possible. I remember when I first showed up, when I expressed my interest to contest. You can see it was interviewed a whole lot of people said he doesn't qualify, people said from the private media. Where is he coming from? He has not paid his dues, he's young, he hasn't gotten there yet.
Did that get to you, Mr. President?
Of course. If you know me very well, you know that some of this doesn't get to me. I don't take no as an answer if I'm convinced to do something. I remember when my predecessor was there, I remember we once had a national executive meeting and he put it before us that whoever has interest to contest for this position should show up. In fact, that day I kept quiet. I sat down. Everybody, all my colleagues were now. Everybody was at least showing interest and expressing interest in one position or another. Then he asked, Albert, I thought you were going for the president. I didn't talk because I had a reason then. So after the meeting, he called. He was like, so we all know you want to go for this promotion. First, my vice president had expressed interest. And if my vice president, I was then the national organizing secretary, expressed interest, it's not good, it's really not healthy proper for me to contest my vice president. Two current national executives pitching against each other. So if my vice president is going, I'll support him. He said, are you sure? I said, yes. So after some weeks, then I started hearing stuff. Now it's like my vice president is withdrawing, she's not sure, and all this. So it get to me, and I said, but if she's not going, we will not sit here for someone from outside to come and take this seat. We have been in the system for at least 5 years, and we understand the challenges confronting journalists. We understand the nitty-gritties. We know what is in there, and that for the 5 years I've learned a lot, and I'm really ready to at least to present myself for the very people we want to serve, and also to demonstrate what we call selfless leadership. Leadership that will be respected, that will be felt by the people. And so I quickly asked my vice president. I called her. I was like, you might say, this president, are you really serious about it? You want to go? I don't think. And I said, if I not get this serious, then I want to step in. In fact, so when I came in, even though they knew my intentions,
right,
and come and see, then the terrorism started. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now people now started digging. So, you know, there's no small.
Did they find some debt on you?
Where from the
yes, because there were a lot of issues that were carried around or thrown out there. Did that get you worried? Or?
No. These were all allegations.
Allegations, yeah.
Allegations. They were all substantiated allegations.
Allegations.
Because what were they? Some of them were even pet.
Like what? Yeah.
Oh, somebody would say that they said, this man who wears. I said I used to wear this shoe, this shoe with my picture on it. You
had a picture on your shoe?
I had a picture. It was actually.
Now, why would you do that, Mr.
No,
President?
it's because somebody just it on my birthday.
Oh, okay. He actually
the person, yes,
printed your picture on your shoe, your face.
My face. And I loved it. It was really, really. You understand?
Yes.
There was a customized something, customized gift.
Okay.
And as a customized gift, what do you expect me to do? Come on, we don't live fake life. You understand? We don't pretend. We need to.
Oh, so they used it against you.
Oh, they said
they had your photograph on the shoe.
The shoe. They had this. You understand? At the point now, they said I'm even a marketer. I'm not even a journalist and all that. So for me, the first question that came to mind was that if the person doesn't qualify, the person is the current national organizing secretary. How did he? Because the qualification for a national organizing secretary, the same qualification for presidency. And so if somebody can contest to become a national organizing secretary, the same person qualifies to become. So that one there was no any argument. So in fact there were a lot of scheming to get me out, a lot of even though they were going about throwing all this.
You were focused.
I was focused, and still I was a threat to them.
You came against some heavyweights from the public media, if you want.
Two heavyweights.
Gert Mensa was one.
And David Abedu.
Two strong men.
Yes. Times editor.
New Times Corporation. Yes, David.
He has been the longest serving editor for Times Corporation.
And you beat him.
I'm telling you. And you see, it was for me, but for all the tantrums, for all the debt they were throwing at me, I didn't see it as a contest. I didn't see them as a, but they were rather seeing.
You didn't see the GJA. No. You knew that it was going to be a smooth sail.
I'm telling you. You see, let me make some admissions. You see, I'm here today, and I'm so proud. I'm so happy to be on the platform. And you could see when I was coming, I came with for your own man.
That's right. You are our president, so we need to celebrate.
I came with my secretary.
Right. Yes.
And so I'll tell you the story behind it.
Tell us.
Efo was in the camp of Dave.
Of Dave Agbenu.
I'm telling you. They beat and do all this thing. I'll come then, he and one guy at the press center, I don't want to mention his name, they will confront his pastor. But they don't mean you. They will be here, step down. You see, you're wasting your time. Then, one day, I remember Salon, ADB came around. So when he came, then I saw the vibe between Salon and Ifo. We're like, hey, we must talk. You know, that vibe and things. The Salon pulled Ifo.
From David Agbenu's camp.
He said he pulled in from
okay,
the office.
Right. Okay.
Then to Scoop. You know the Scoop. We have a restaurant at the president called Scoop. And then we went to one of the summers and said, this guy you're talking about, this guy, this our friend, you don't know this our brother. You understand? He's the doer. You see, once he see he can pull things, he's this. You know, I've known him for this, he's not look, these people they have nothing to offer. Then he gave him the order, this then. If he was like, no, then you have given me enough to actually deliberate. So
he moved camps to join you.
So it took some days. He was there and then confirmed on his birthday. He was not in my camp.
Okay.
I decided to surprise him. I organized the Prez to bring to get some buffet. So they put the buffet together. Boom, he was there and then the buffet came. Now the people, his colleague, the other, like you know, they were a team. They were all in David Belu's camp. When and it was his birthday, so all of them were around. So when the food came, they asked, where from this one? Where from this one?
Mr. President, you bribed your opponents.
I didn't bribe my opponents. No.
Why did you do
I'm
that?
just generous. I don't care where you stand. I'm just being generous.
You wooed him over. That was bribery.
No, that's not win. I'm being generous.
Okay.
In fact, what I want you to know is that
yes.
even we pray for
you
enemies.
You are a unifier.
We even pray for enemies.
Oh.
You get it. Right. Let alone. So if this is my opponent camp and he's celebrating his birthday, at least I want to do something to at least.
You extended,
I extended
that love.
The people said, they asked me where from this one. He said, it's from.
You bought the man.
You were it's from General. They said, they will eat.
Wow.
They said, they will eat. Then he said, why would you eat? But if you are in contact with someone, doesn't mean that
he's your enemy. Right.
Then, they all turned their back. They started. Now
so you got your opponent's, campaign manager in quotes to now become your executive secretary.
Of course, he was one of the pillars.
In
their campaign, and they turned, and it was like in fact, he got, and he got furious. About like so the way we guys are, the way we go. So because I am getting this thing from now, you are going to tell me now. They said they don't cast it. I started casting. Then I was there. The president I will support you.
Full allegiance, 100%. So you moved on and you won the election.
We won the election. Landslide.
Well, it was a landslide victory.
Let me tell you the surprise about this one. Before the election, they have actually they've raised a number of issues against Atika's list.
Right.
I know you heard about it.
I did.
They said why should Atika they don't buy blah blah. You see what I've realized is that both from the state media, and not all of them, some persons view those of us in the private media, especially the local media stations, as unprofessionals and uneducated. And so they look down on us. And I can tell you that there are people in the private media, especially the local stations, who have even doctorate, some are even student lawyers.
Wow.
I'm getting some have master's degrees and all that.
Well educated.
Very
intelligent.
Very informed. But because the person is working with you don't.
And these are some of the things that you as president, you must get into that and change that perception.
Of course. We are trying to bridge the gap. In fact, through my leadership, we realize that there's no faction. Now you don't hear of state media, private media. No. I've tried to bring all of them together. And I'm a president for all, not a president for private media.
Interesting. I know, and I want us to get into it. You've struggled the main, facets of communication practice. Let's talk about journalism and public relations. How has it helped you shape your leadership thus far? Because you're not just for journalists, you're for public, relations and all of it. Because you practice the two.
I do.
We'll get into your educational background, but how have you shaped that leadership journey?
Of course, you see, one of the advantages, or what has really helped me, is the training I had from the public relations background. In fact, I started with estate company like the first century when I was practicing as a journalist and all that, leading the charge as the media relations officer, then heading the marketing. You know one thing about public relations is that public relations goes with marketing. That's what people don't know. Because the ability to convince, ability to actually brand, you understand, brand. So when we joined, they didn't have that kind of corporate image. It was the company was seen to be the let me say the usual land selling company, like they sell land, sale of land. But we branded it, become a corporate entity with a different image.
And that's Millennium City.
That's Millennium City.
Correct.
It was then 21st century construction.
Yes.
You get it? Yes. But that is promoters of Millennium City Estate. And so we did. From there, we moved on to Tobacco as the chief operating officer, lead for Tobacco Group, to lead the PR, the public relations and corporate affairs department. We did that, and through that, we established Atinka Media Division. And I can tell you that I single-handedly and established Atinka.
Oh, so you established Atinka Media?
Course. You know, let me tell you one interesting thing. You know, when I was coming here, then something hit me. I remember, Bola called me and said that.
Yes.
We have bought, was it
Choice
FM?
Yes.
No, it was Choice FM first. Okay, it wasn't Choice FM.
Right.
You had ended up bought Sena.
Yes, Sena Radio. Yes.
And so, and we are also chasing, we were chasing, what is the name? Fedawari for Choice.
Correct.
And then, suddenly, that is swamped. That is swamped. And we got Sena, and then you took Choice from us.
To become Kasapa.
Correct. Of course, I remember. And so, last time I said, this is really identity, and the schema. You know, this though is the one sitting there. It's in that, and you remember that?
Exactly, I do.
It's like the one sitting there.
Wow.
So you know the way how we're able to secure. We were happy to have secured Sena. Do you know why? Because we needed a frequency very close to this FM.
Okay.
And also close to Madonna.
Oh, so it was part of your strategy.
It was strategy.
Okay.
And so
for Atinka FM to be positioned. Okay.
So you see, the name for us to, the name Atinka came as a result of feeling, like the thing. So I remember when we lost the Sena, in fact the man told us, "Oh, I have just met with the team. They made payment." You have something to Mr. Tobin. Ada, it ain't possible.
You made Sena FM return our money to us.
That's the funny thing.
No problem.
That's the funny thing.
Today you reviewed it. No problem.
And so,
okay.
And so here we are. We have Atinka because in fact, the morning, very early in the morning, around 5 a.m., I received a call from an authority. I was like, bro, what are you saying? Sorry, your call will start with now. And you know now, serious was
right.
And I dream I have been thinking about this thing. No, me think I say yes, I'm call and pay.
So that's how the name Atinka was back.
Me think so I had the feeling. So it was when we went, then the man told us, oh, I told you about you are standing.
Okay.
The catcher will say, yeah, almost
wow.
You get all
I know.
So
you beat EIB to that. Atinka FM got Sena from us. But no problem. We also beat you to get your
So it really propelled me.
Okay.
And it really.
So that's why you started your PR and the
marketing. So you see, so leading the charge here.
Right.
I've been able to bring to bear my PR skills, my marketing skills, and that is actually selling the GJA.
It's paid off. Will you say here emphatically that you rebranded the GJA and you've taken it from maybe a step 5 to 7?
Of course, you see, Rob, when we took over, if you remember, for 2 years, I don't know how to put it. The election was like a statement. It was like startle because some persons have gone to court to challenge some laws and all that. So we're in court for a year before we came we came to form what we called the just said we should come for an arbitration. So we were able to come out with what we call a consensus agreement or a consent agreement. They have a name, that's the legal term they call it. And so it was even after that agreement, we still couldn't survive the storm. And it also we from 2025, the election was supposed to be held in November 2020. Then we pushed it to 2021 due to COVID. But the question is that boom, the same COVID and at the same COVID, the whole Ghana, we
held an election.
We had an election, national election.
Okay.
With over 70 million. We are less than 1,000. And we said we couldn't go to the polls just because of COVID. So that should tell you that was when the scheming started. Then we decided to fix a date, May 2021. Just as we were getting closer to the date, somebody brought the injunction. So we had a statement. So the whole, at a point, you go to the president, you visit the Ghana Financial Press Center, and you may see an environment that feels like a cemetery.
Right.
The place was so very quiet,
very inactive.
Inactive.
No activity.
In fact, my predecessor, the previous president, will tell you that it was a rusty secretariat. So we inherited a rusty secretariat, and we were able. In fact, one of the things is to transform the image of association. In transforming the image of association, one thing that one needs to do is to first of all change the perception of the members, because there were certain perception. You cannot transform the image without transforming the perception, the mindset of the people. And so we're able to bring together, we have the stakeholder engagement, bringing together past presidents, past executive veterans, senior journalists. That was the first time it was happening.
Would you say emphatically that you have transformed the GJA?
I hope you have been to the president.
Yes, I have.
You have been to the president.
Have you transformed the GJA?
Yes, and the answer is yes. Even more than transformation. Because we have, for me, I said back and I felt that I have, like I said, I have exceeded some of the expectations. Even though there are other commitments that have actually not come close, have actually not begun to.
3 imperative things that you've done or brought to the GJA. Number 1 would be what?
Number one, giving a new facelift to the Ghana International Press.
When you say a new facelift, what are we talking about here? Tell us, what have you done at the GJA?
We have changed the look and feel. Now, before then, you come to the association, you will see how the place looks. Just
so in terms of the physical structure and the environment.
Yes, physical structure and the environment. The first 100 days, we renovated the whole structure. We have changed the furniture, the paintings, everything in there, the tiling. So when you enter the GJA, when you enter, in fact, the office from the reception, you start having a feel.
So total, renovation
of course,
furniture,
everything. You won't find any old thing, and I tell you can come and check.
Where did you get the money from? Funding came from where?
It is all about marketing strategy.
Oh,
okay. About marketing strategy. And you see, like I said.
So it means that the money is there. It's how to actually engineer,
of course,
and bring in the cash.
Bring in the cash.
Okay.
You needed.
So that's number 1. Facelift. Number 2 will be what?
We launched the Journalist Support Fund. A welfare. This is a welfare fund. You understand? A fund to see or to support the welfare of journalists, especially journalists who come and attack.
Impressive.
Yes, in the discharge of their duties. You remember in the past, journalists comes and attack and perpetrators go scot-free. Because once the police fails to prosecute, the police fails to initiate the criminal prosecution, nothing happens. This time around, the fund has helped us to put together a team of legal brains. Wow. And so that is why we are able to do what we are doing recently. Because now if you attack a journalist, we have 2 sides of the matter. We have the criminal side and we have the civil side. So if the police fails in their resolve or duty or responsibility to get to the bottom or to bring perpetrators to face the full results, we will take several actions. That's why the leader is there. And we go all out. It happened in Tamale, our lawyers.
Interesting. So the third one will be?
And the third one will be the annual dinner night.
Obama was there. I mean, President Money was doing that.
No.
The annual dinner night.
No,
okay, that was the GJA
award.
Okay, so you added the dinner night.
In the past, we used to have the awards and the dinner together. We decided to decouple the two last time because we realized that it was actually eating into the night. It was eating to our time. Sometimes, can you imagine veterans of 70, 75, 60 years, they will come sit at a venue from 6 p.m. to like 1 a.m. just because we need to have dinner before we go live on air and all that. And so we realized that it wasn't really in modern days.
You decoupled it.
We decoupled.
So it's a standalone now.
Dinner and not dinner. And the first one was made by President Dwumfuor. It's story. I'm telling you. And you see, you know, and all these three I've mentioned happened in our first year. I've not come to the
so it means that there are a lot more to come.
But I'm not even mentioning AMC.
Well, we'll talk about AMC. But you know, recently the Press Freedom Rankings, came out.
Yeah.
And Ghana's performance definitely has improved.
Yes.
Right. So we are now at number one.
Yes.
60. We'll get
We are number 50.
Number 50
From
from
62
62 to
Yes.
50.
Yeah.
How much of this is down to government's, better handling of journalists, Mr. President?
I think that I'm not a government spokesperson, so I can't speak for government. But I will speak for ourselves. I will say that so much gone into this. Bola, last year during the Dwumfuor President Day, at the national commemoration which was held at the forecourt of the Ghana International Press Center, I made a commitment. And the commitment was that I am going to ensure that Ghana improve on our ranking on the web press. This was a commitment.
Wow.
And we go the extra mile every day.
So are we saying, GJA President, that it's not the work per se of government in handling the environment in terms of the media environment, but much more so that of the GJA? Is that a fact?
Government has contributed, but they've not done much. Yes, sir. They have more to do. They've not done much. And I would say that they've contributed.
Government has not done much in terms of media freedom.
No, it's not in terms of media freedom.
Okay.
I mean, in terms of.
But the rankings,
but
it all
yes, in terms of
into that.
in terms of making sure that we improve on our ranking by showing interest in the attack on the attack.
Government has not done much in that sense.
Because we are here. Journalists have been attacked. Even in recent times, we have 2 journalists attacked by honorable MPs for that matter. One was attacked by supporters and who was MP.